Good afternoon. Oh, it's officially time for the May energy forecast. And if you're catching me live or catching me on the replay, welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm so happy to have you here. As I was tuning into the energy of May, I can feel that there are going to be some very important shifts unfolding this month that are actually going to be um, very much in service to all of us. So I think there's been a lot of energy happening through April. Comment and let me know if you felt this way, where things have felt kind of stirred up, right? And we've been kind of left with this feeling of like, things have getting stirred up, things are getting turned up. And like, what do I do with this? How do I move forward with this? What's next? And feeling kind of all over the place with that. And, you know, I have to say, I didn't necessarily see that coming, although I probably should have. We would think that one, because May was or April was a one energy month, that it would be grounding because one is a physical energy. But I would say that April was a very ungrounded feeling for a lot of reasons because the stir up was serving us. The stir up was serving us. So if you felt stirred up in May or kind of like fragmented or kind of like just not fully together. Okay. If you felt not fully together in April, just give me a little comment or a like and let me know if that was something you were feeling. And I want you to know that there is a shift happening in May that's definitely going to serve you. May is a 2 energy month. And there's a few things that are really going to be highlighted in this month, particularly as it relates to connection, people coming together. So, co-regulation, interdependence, working together, connecting, collaborating. That's kind of, very high level, one of the very important energies of this month. And, you know, underneath that is this idea that we don't ever make significant lasting change alone. We just don't. We are creatures who are meant to be social. We are meant to regulate in community and in connection. We are meant to come together. We are meant to all carry different pieces of a puzzle, right? We are meant to all carry different pieces, and I carry my piece and you carry your piece. I'm not expected to carry all of the pieces on my own, and neither are you. We're meant to focus in on our own unique magic, our own unique code, our own unique brand of genius and excellence, and bring that together and let those puzzle pieces come together and recognize that the picture we make when we allow ourselves to be fully embraced and practiced and claimed and owned in our genius is so much more beautiful than what would be if I attempted to be everything all at once to everybody, which is clearly not possible, right? So I think in May, one of the most important things that's going to come up is this idea of collaboration and connection. And I want you to even take this a level deeper in knowing that you carry answers. You carry answers and solutions that other people are seeking, right? The very energy that you are, your mere presence is incredibly incredibly rich, and provides answers to other people. You are the answer that someone else is seeking. I really want you to take this to heart this month. You are the answer that someone else is seeking. And what that also conversely means is that there are other people who carry the solution that you need, right? We are all seeking something. We are all seeking something. And there are other people out there who just naturally embody the energy that we're seeking. And through the embodiment of that energy, they provide us with the solution that we need, right? And when you have a solution coming together with a problem, there's this bridging energy that occurs, and it's very dynamic, right? There's this bridging energy, this coming together energy, which is represented by the two. And when the solution and the problem come together, there is this beautiful dynamic synergistic result which is always going to be so much greater than the sum of its parts. What happens when the solution and the answer come together is a new level of experience, a new level of awareness, a new level of enlightenment, an idea that never would have been created without this collaboration, right? So it's this whole idea that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, synergy, right? What we can create together is so much more powerful when we actually allow all of ourselves to be fully embodied in our code, and we come together with other people and we allow them to be fully embodied in their code. That magic that is created is so much greater than the sum of its parts. And we have this potential in May because of this two energy. Two highlights connection in that way. So let yourself seek out other people who can support you, right? Whether it's hiring a mentor, whether it's taking a training, whether it's reaching out and getting a reading or a healing, whether it's masterminding with someone, and, as well as, reaching out to your community. Who are your friends? Who are your buddies? Who are the people who you go to, who see you and hold space for you and allow you to shift, grow, change, evolve? Know that you might show up today with an idea and allow you to grow into that idea, and recognize that the idea is going to shift and change as we are going to shift and change as we grow and develop and become the people who are capable of holding and creating the vision that we feel in our hearts, right? And your vision gets to be whatever it gets to be. Whatever desires that you have, you get to hold that and allow it to mold, shift, evolve, and grow as you do. And to me, one of the greatest gifts is to surround ourselves with people who say things like, it's okay. Like, you can change your mind. Like, it's okay. Today this was the answer and tomorrow it's something different. You would never have known that if you hadn't started walking down the path. So give yourself permission to feel your way through it. You don't have to know A, B, C, D, E when you're still on A. You don't. You get to step onto B, feel it out. You get to take the next step, feel it out. And if that means course corrections and adjustments along the way, then that's divine and that's perfect and that's right on path. But you only know that through two things: through learning to stay with yourself, to trust yourself, to feel into, is this right for me? Does this align with my vision? Does this feel like it's getting me closer to the desires I have? Does it feel like it's allowing me to grow and be embodied in the vision that I hold for myself? Like, who am I as the person who holds this as true for me, right? And allowing there to be people in your world who will mirror that back to you, right? This beautiful energy of co-regulation and interdependence. Allowing you to have people in your space where you can say to them, I'm thinking about this, or I had a feeling about something, or I'm going to try this, and who will talk through it with you, who will be like, ooh, I wonder what could happen if, or, oh, that's interesting. What's next? Or, oh, tell me more about that. Or, oh, why is that exciting to you? Why is that lighting you up? I want to hear more. Share your process, right? And I'm giving you these prompts because I also want you to be the person who will ask that of the people in your world, right? Ask those in your world when they share something with you, like, wow, that's exciting. Tell me more. I want to understand your process. Tell me what's next for you. Tell me how this came to be. How did you arrive at this idea? And ask questions with curiosity and wonderment as to how it's going to all unfold, because nobody knows. Nobody knows. This is the thing that I think is also crazy. The people who are like, oh, well, this is my whole thing, they don't know that yet. You don't know it until you step into it and you feel it, right? You take a step and you're like, okay, here I am, embodied now. Now, how does it feel? Let me have some mirroring experiences where people will reflect back to me. And then I will go within and I will feel within and I will connect with my guidance system, my intuition. And let me try this on and feel it. Okay, now that I've recalibrated here, what's next? And I think it's really important to understand this, because in times of dramatic change, of which we are in right now, it is not reasonable to expect that you're going to have 10 steps mapped out. It's just not. And, I know for me, when I went to business school, we were all about the 5-year plan and the 10-year plan and this and that. And it's not reasonable It's just not. It's just you're setting yourself up for failure if you think you're going to map out the whole thing on day one. However, it's fine to say, this is where I'd like to go. This is how I'd like to feel. These are the experiences I want to call in. These are the opportunities that I'd like to experience. And then here's where we trip ourselves up. If I take a step that's not necessarily what my 5-year plan or 1-year plan would have shown, I think I'm doing it wrong. And then I'm hard on myself. And then I pull back or I shrink or I get small because I'm tentative, right? And you know, it's okay to be tentative. It's okay to be uncertain. It's okay to baby step your way through it. But please do not shrink your energy in that process. Please do not shrink your energy in that process. You get to be embodied in all of it, the mistakes, the ups and downs, and all of it. And when you allow yourself to be that, you will bring in people in your world who will also be that. And you get to hold space for them to do that, and they get to hold space for you to do that. And it's so important because what we're experiencing right now is one giant experiment, right? We really are. And if we can honor that it's one giant experiment and that we are trying things on and moving through it with the recalibration that comes with every step, it's going to allow a level of trust and strength and resilience to grow in you. And I'm going to send an email out today. So if you're on my list, you're going to get this story. But one of the most powerful insights that came to me when I was doing the prep work for May was this idea of metal. Okay. So I used to be married to a welder, so I know an inordinate amount about metal. Okay. And if you break a piece of metal and you weld it back together, it is stronger on the seam than the rest of the unbroken metal. Okay. Are you guys with me here? If you break a piece of metal and then you weld it back together, it is stronger on the seam than in the unbroken metal. So what that means is that when I experiment and I trip and fall and I do effective repair, this is key. Okay. Effective repair after falling, I will become stronger, more resilient, more powerful, more capable with my next step. So what does effective repair look like? What does welding that metal back together look like? What does that seam look like? What is effective repair? Effective repair is where the two energy comes in. It is connection. It is co-regulation. It is surrounding yourself with people who see that, hold space for that, and let you go through that while loving you and honoring you and providing you with the support and the guidance that you need, right? Whether it's just love and support, whether it's feedback, whether it's insight, you get to be the one to decide because you're the one that gets to be the leader of your repair experience. You get to ask, I would like insight. I would like guidance. You know what? I don't want feedback. I just want to vent. You get to decide that, right? You get to decide your repair experience. It's your experience. You get to choose it. And in knowing that if I mindfully choose my repair experience, the level of strength and power and resilience I'm going to have to move forward to the next thing is going to be even stronger the next time around. Right? So surround yourself with people who can hear your ask, who can hear you say, I don't want feedback. I just want to vent. Or, you know what? I know you've walked this path as well. Share your stories with me. I want to hear, right? You get to ask that and surround yourself with people who will honor that, right? Who will let you have your process, hold you in your process, whatever that might be. One giant experiment. Okay. So now that I've given you kind of high level, May, here's some do's. Okay. Should we share some do's? Number one, surround yourself with people who will do that for you. I would say both. This is a brilliant time to hire a coach, to hire a mentor, to hire someone who's going to walk with you on the path, but be discerning. Don't just like blindly hire someone, for based on whatever. Be discerning. Think about, what do I need? And can I communicate what I need in such a way that I'm going to be able to know that this person can work with me, right? And you can say to them, like, this is what I want. This is what I need. What's your process? And hear them as they share their process with you to see if it's a fit. Okay. Because the right mentor or support person right now will be a very strong amplifier for you. It will strengthen things. We started off May with a 3 energy, which means this connection, collaboration, coming together vibe wants to be like amplified on steroids. Okay. So if you bring the right people together on your support team, you are going to have rocket fuel behind you. So be discerning and trust yourself. So if you're working with someone or thinking about working with someone and something feels off to you, go within, figure out why, feel into it. It could be based on history and the past and old stuff and might not be relevant, but it might be relevant. So let yourself feel it, be aware of it, ask it questions so that you can be a discerning consumer. That's incredibly, incredibly important because you're in charge of your experience and no one knows better than you for you. You know what's best for you. So being discerning with who you work with and who you receive guidance from, whether it's paid or unpaid, like even the YouTube channels you listen to or the podcasts you listen to, or who you listen to on Instagram or TikTok. Like being discerning with who you allow into your energy field and letting yourself be like, is this amplifying my strength or not? Right? And trusting yourself in that. So that's number one. Find a good co-regulation person or multiple good co-regulation people, and that will amplify your growth. The next thing is owning your power. Okay, so I talked a little bit about synergy a few minutes ago. Okay, so owning your power. I want to give a little analogy around this that some of you have probably heard before, which is around our colors. Okay, so if you imagine that your power center is a color, okay, so pretend my power center happens to be blue. Okay, the stronger and more clear I am in my power, the more blue I become, the more potent and vibrant I become. And so let's say your power center happens to be red. Okay. And the more clear you are in owning your power, owning your energy, owning who you are, owning your gift, the richer and the more vibrant of a red you become. And so when you and I come together, okay, I'm blue over here, you're red over here, we come together, we get to own red and blue, and we also co-create purple. Okay. And the stronger I am in my color and the stronger you are in your color, the more rich and vibrant of a purple we are going to create. Okay. And so this to me is powerful and effective co-regulation, because just because I'm hanging out with a red person doesn't mean I tinge my blue red. It means I stay blue and know that we get to co-create purple. But where co-regulation becomes or interdependence becomes codependence is where I start to see the reds in the world and think, oh, wow, they're doing a great job. I better show up more red. Right. And that becomes codependence, which is actually damaging to me as well as them. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't solve anybody's problem. Right. Because we need the blues, we need the reds, and we need the purples that happens when they come together. So interdependence, meaning support each other and come together, not codependence, which means leaning too far into their energy and too far into being influenced by them or influencing them, or subtle manipulation, subtle control, that kind of thing, where their decisions can take away from your power or vice versa. Okay, so as I mentioned already, we started this month with a 3 energy day on Sunday, and that really amplifies connection. So stepping into that is really, really huge, and recognizing that there is bridging opportunities right now, coming together opportunities where problems and solutions want to come together, where resources want to come together, where there's going to be this coming together vibe, and it's naturally occurring. So let yourself ride the waves of that. Right? Ride the waves of the things that are coming together. Let yourself be in that. The next important energy that I really want to share with is going to be around next Sunday, the 8th of the month. And this is really going to highlight this idea of collaborations in a new way. Okay. So collaborations in such a way where individuals get to grow and the growth of the community will benefit, right? So you get to grow with others and co-regulate together. There's going to be this kind of newish vibe around it. We've got this one energy day that's going to really probably spark an idea to land, spark a new piece of information to land for you that's going to bring together, bridge something. So, what I would recommend you do this week is take some time to get clear on here's who I am, here's the solution I provide, here are the asks I have, and here is how we're going to clearly own me, claim me, be clear in my power center so that when opportunities arise on the 8th or sometime that week after, I'm clear enough in who I am to know if it's right for me or not. I'm clear enough in who I am to know if it's right for me or not. Because starting on Monday, the 9th, there's going to be some opportunities coming in. And here's how I want to invite you to be discerning is to use your emotions as a barometer. Okay. So this is an incredibly emotional month. If you are sensitive to energy, if you are highly sensitive, you are empathic, or if you feel things deeply, your emotions are going to be your barometer and your compass, which means that it's very important for you to be very emotionally regulated and tuned into yourself, because you don't want to be accidentally picking up and borrowing other people's emotions. You want to be clear on what yours are, but let your emotions guide you. If you are feeling wrong, off, or bad, tune in and figure out why that is, because it's a message, particularly, like I said, the week of the 9th. Very strong messages. If you are feeling lit up, joyful, free, excited, vibrant, this is also a message. Receive it, tune in, be like, why am I getting this? What's it around? What's it guiding me to do next? Right? Your emotions want to guide you this week, particularly. And amplified on the 15th of the month. So the 15th of the month, it is going to be very, very strong. And it's Mother's Day. Oh, which to me just even brings more. I didn't even realize that, Pamela, but it really brings even more this idea of how do I stay regulated with myself? This level of self-love, self-care, and self-nurturing, mothering myself, so that when I go and co-regulate with others, I can be the receiver and the giver. I can hold space for both. I don't need myself to be perfect, but I also know when I can say yes and when I can say no. I have clear boundaries. And I'm fierce with that. I'm not going to let someone walk all over me. I'm not going to leak that energy, right? I'm going to be very, very clear with that. So the 15th of the month, it's like letting my emotions guide me and staying in my power around boundaries is going to be very, very important, to be very empowered with that. And so I think if you can, around the 15th of the month, maybe a day or two before or a day or two after, take some time to be like, what are my non-negotiable boundaries? How do I expect to engage with others? How will I treat others, and how do I expect to be treated? And what does that look like? How do I be clear in that so that others know and I know, right? I know if it's not right, what to do about it. So clear boundary conversation for sure around the 15th of the month. Being guided by your emotions. So if you feel like your emotions are irrational on the week of the 9th, I just want you to let that be okay and not judge yourself for it. Get the support you need to regulate, to find out what's going on. But don't make yourself wrong for it, because what if there's some messages in there that are important to be received? Okay. Um, I believe it's possible. So the next week, I think, is going to be incredibly important, is the week of the 17th. So, as I said, how important co regulation is and interdependence is this month. The week of the 17th, you are starting a new manifestation cycle that is going to be based on powerful, effective collaboration and connection. So, make sure that you use your connections wisely on the week of the 17th. This is not a time to be isolated. This is a time to be in connection with others who are inspiring you and who you're inspiring, right? So the 17th of the month, a new manifestation cycle is going to begin that's going to be highlighted on strong connections, strong collaborations. So lean into that. The other piece I haven't yet said about two energy, which is very, very important, is how strong your intuition is going to be. Two energy is going to be very strong in your intuition because your sensing is strong. Your felt sense in your body is strong. So don't disconnect. Like your inner guidance system is going to yell at you if you're not listening. So take time to listen, whatever that means to you, whether it's like tuning into your numbers, doing a reading, whether it's reaching out to another professional reader or intuitive, working with a mentor, whatever that means to you, your intuition is going to be very, very strong. Which means if you're not listening to it, or you're denying it, or you're ignoring it, it has the potential to show up in anxiety, overwhelm, nerves that are like unexpressed energy, right? Unexpressed. It's like the nervous energy of a dog that doesn't get to be walked, right? Or doesn't get to go outside to play, right? It's like your energy wants to be worked with, not ignored. So if you're feeling anxiety or overwhelm or nerves, particularly the week of the 17th, this is unexpressed intuitive energy that wants to be explored and listened to and given a chance to play, right? And expressed and embodied. Okay, so new manifestation cycle on the 17th, lean into your intuition and lean into connection and collaboration. You are collaborating with yourself, first and foremost, spirit, and those around you, right? You're collaborating with your energetic being, your energy core, however you define that, as well as others around you. And your experiences are going to be manifested based on those relationships. The next important day I really want to point out would be let's see here, the 30th of the month. Again, I mentioned already, this is going to be a very, very sensitive energy month. Very, very sensitive. If you have tendencies to be highly sensitive, please take extra self-care, and be extra gentle and extra loving with yourself, and take time to stay in your body. Okay. This is not a time to leave and check out. This is a time to stay grounded in your body. So what are the things that let you do that? Do you need to go outside for walks? Do you need to take a bath? Do you need to dance or move? Do you need to, do yoga, or like whatever this is, right? Find your thing. Explore some options, work with someone on it, and stay connected with yourself. Stay in your body. Your intuition will speak to you when you're connected with yourself. And that will be very, very strong. Like I said, on the 30th of the month, you can actually probably expect some very strong intuitive hits on the 30th of the month around what's next for you, how to move this current manifestation forward, right? So you're going to get like that next, like, okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. That's going to happen probably around the 30th of the month. And at the end of the month, we end up on a 6 energy day, which is the energy of 2022, which is our year energy, which is all about karmic change, adjustment, rebalancing, and harmonization. So anywhere in life where things have felt out of whack or out of balance, you are going to be receiving intuitive hits all month leading up to the balancing steps that you need to take to restore a sense of harmony. And sometimes course correction is not smooth and easy, but the goal is to create a balance. Okay. So if things have been out of balance, listen to yourself to figure out, what can I do to create balance and harmony? Recognizing that sometimes imbalance comes through from recalibration. So this word has been very important this year because of the 6 energy. So throughout this month, ask yourself, is this a sign of imbalance that needs to be corrected? Or is this a time of recalibration? Okay, where it's kind of like this embodiment reintegration experience to become whole again, so that the expression is grounded and landed, right? The things you say and do, the actions you take come from wholeness, right? Integration is to become whole, right? So you want this integration to happen, which sometimes needs some recalibration, so that the actions and the things you do come from wholeness. Does that make sense? If you have any questions around this, please let me know. If you have any specific dates you're wondering about, comment, let me know in the chat. I want to know what's coming up for you around this. And I also just want to let you guys know, I know a few of you have reached out to me over the past little while asking about private readings. My calendar has been closed for private readings for a very long time, but I'm actually going to be opening my calendar up, where I will be offering just a very few number of spots to work with me on a private one-on-one basis. So if you're one of those people who's been asking about that, send me a DM or make sure you're on my email list, so that you can take a look and see if that's something that you're seeking. And I think I really want to leave, this month's message with Two things. Number one, trust yourself. Go within, build that relationship of interdependence with yourself and all the parts of yourself, right? So that you can also move through space and time co regulating with others so that you allow opportunities for yourself and others to try things on, to experiment, to succeed, to fail, to experiment, to grow and evolve, which always comes with some missteps along the way, which are really not. That whole idea of breaking the metal and repairing it, making it stronger. So when you misstep, watch the self-talk and the talk with others. It's not a misstep, it's a rupture and repair that results in a strengthening, a resilience, a strongness, a stronger and more embodied power when you let yourself integrate that. Work with people who will help you recognize those ruptures, repair them effectively, and then integrate them so that you become more powerful, capable, responsible, and embodied moving forward in that resilience and in that strength and in that trust in yourself. Because, like I said, the metal that is broken and repaired is stronger than the unbroken metal, which means your power is going to strengthen as a result of these beautiful experiments that you're playing with. So let me know what lands. I want to know, what's your takeaway? What landed today? What is one thing you're going to apply or use, or what clicked in your head where you can really take this and apply this and move it forward? Let me know in the chat. Make sure you tag some friends who need to hear this message. I think this is incredibly important, especially because it is the month of connection and collaboration. So tag those people you think need to hear this about how important this is and how much you value this and how it matters to you. And, reach out to those people who you want to connect with in your life. Thank you so much for being with me here. And I look forward to reading your chats and your comments and seeing what comes up for you. You guys have a great day and we'll talk soon.